G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. So, Missy Matthews caught up with Art Rooney II today on a podcast or in a one-on-one interview. And there were some comments I want to bring up about Matt Canada. Now, we all know that Matt Canada's situation will happen this year in 2022. I wasn't a big fan. I was not a big fan of his play calling, scheme, pretty much anything how it was running with the Steelers. However, in 2022, at the start of the season, there was awful at the very beginning, 2-6, the bye, the world was ending. But after the bye, Matt Canada and his offense started clicking. They started running the ball more effectively, and they started to gel and win games. They went 7-2 at the end, and of course, Mike Tomlin, Matt Canada, Terrell Austin, all the guys, the organization, and the team went 9-8. But I want to bring a few comments up from Art Rooney II. He's talking about Matt Canada. This was an interview with Missy Matthews. You guys can check it out on Steelers.com or Steelers YouTube. You've probably already seen it, but here's what he said about Canada. He said, a key factor in the season was having a rookie starting quarterback that stepped up about a quarter of the way through the season, Rooney said. And the progression of Kenny Pickett, I think, was obvious and good to see. And hopefully something that will continue to build on next year. So he's pretty keen to see the progression of Kenny Pickett. And of course, we all saw that. We all saw Kenny get thrown into the Jets game, right? Well, actually, I didn't see it. I was asleep, but I did rewatch it. Well, we saw Kenny get thrown into the Jets game, got smacked by the Bills, got smacked by the Eagles. But coming out of the bye, Kenny Pickett each week got better and better and better. With the link up with Sims, the link up with George Pickens, the touchdown to Najee to the end zone, his mobility in the pocket, not getting sacked as much, and also not throwing the ball away too, like with interceptions. So Kenny Pickett is becoming the guy, or is the guy at the moment, that will lead the charge at quarterback, hopefully for the next 4 or 5 years. So Art Rooney II also sees that. He definitely sees that. Now, in another comment that I found in this video, that I clipped here from a website, is Rooney says this: I think we'd like to see improvement, and with a rookie quarterback, they seem to work well together. Now, that is in reference to Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. Rooney said they've built a good working relationship, and so to kind of start over again with a new offensive coordinator could wind up back in the same situation again, where the first half of the season, you're breaking in a new coordinator. So we just felt like there's enough there to build on what we want to continue to keep that group together. Now, that is in reference to, I guess, the fans, the media, saying that the Steelers needed to fire Matt Canada at the end of the season. Now, I have changed. Look, I'm not saying that I'm 100% Matt Canada. I am 100% this team. I want this team to be successful. I want this team to go on to win Super Bowls. I want them to win every single game they can. I want them to go to the playoffs. I want them to go win playoff games. I'm not anti-Canada. I'm not pro-Canada, right? It sounds like we've used that name so much, to be honest. We've used that name, and I'm actually I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of saying Matt Canada. I really am. But this is the Rooney's take on, or the owner's take on, the offensive coordinator. And it does make a lot of sense. If they were to go and fire Canada and bring in a new offensive coordinator, then you are back to step one, right? But how much progression can we see with MC at the helm, with Kenny Pickett? And in year 2, will we see an explosion in the offense? Do we need to see that? Do we need to see 31 points, 35 points? Or do we just need to see 24 points consistently and our defense to do all the work? Now, there's one more slide I want to show you. He says here, I think we have a lot of good young players on the offense, which is very true. So we may have a lot of pieces around him that we need. Rooney said on building around Pickett and the offense. Now, you can always add another piece, and we'll be looking for other pieces. But I think we have a pretty good young group here. And that is 100% facts. You have Pickens, Kenny Pickett, young offensive line, right? You also have Calvin Austin III, CA3, coming back into the mix, who will get his chance in his first year, but technically second year to play because he had the injury last year. You also have Najee Harris, who's quite young. You have Jalen Warren backing up. You have Fryermuth too. You have Zach Gentry if they go and re-sign him and get him back in the mold. And also Cameron Hayward too. Not Cameron Hayward, Connor Hayward at the tight end position. You have a really, really young offense. Now, the key point here is, though, he does say, sorry, wrong one. He does say here, we have a few pieces that we need to get around him, right? Now, you can always use another piece. Is that in reference to the draft? Is that in reference to adding Jordan Addison to the draft and getting him at receiver? Is that a possibility? Or is he just talking about bringing in depth guys where you might get a veteran receiver? I don't know, but it's something to look at. He says, now you can always use another piece, and we'll be looking for other pieces. But I think we have a pretty good young group here, and that is 110% facts. So here it is, guys. The Rooney's back, Canada. I'm not saying you have to. You can still put fire Canada if you want to. I don't overly care. But I think what we should care about is that the offense is really young. Kenny Pickett in his second year. Fry moved, I think, into his third. Najee Harris into his third year too. Jalen Warren into his second year. Pickens into his second year. Steven Sims has been in his fifth or sixth year, right? But Calvin Austin the third, he's coming back for his second. Connor Haywood is in there for his second, right? We've got a really young offense, and Mason Cole's coming back. He's about 26. Who's the other blokes? James Daniel, they're pretty young. Trick's pretty young. It's a pretty young offense that we can build around. Now, you go to the draft. Do you go and get a left tackle? Do you go and get a receiver like Jordan Addison? Do you go and get a higher price guy like Taylor Lewan to come in at left tackle? Do you get pieces like that to build around this offense? But it does make quite a lot of sense. You know what? We are so, and I know me personally, I'm so overreactionary to the current situation. The minute I see Canada design a really bad play, or we can only score 13, 10 points, and you're thinking, why can't we score 21, 24, 30 points? You get fired up and you want to yell out fire Canada. That's just a natural reaction. However, I will be very, very optimistic into year 2. I would love to see the run game be effective again. I want to see Kenny Pickett link up with Pickens and things like that. I want to see this offense expand and open more what they did in 2022. Anyways, guys, that's the thoughts from Rooney's, or the Art Rooney second, on Matt Canada. They have faith in him. Do you guys have faith in him? I don't know. All right, guys, I'll see you later.
Coach Stumlin, let's go for the win, man.